Hello, everyone. Today we're addressing a deeply tragic and disturbing event that unfolded recently on the Las Vegas Strip, an incident that has sadly involved members of the YouTube community. So, in case you weren't aware, on Sunday, June 8th, a shooting occurred near the Bellagio Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. Authorities, specifically the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, responded to reports of gunfire. Sadly, two individuals were pronounced deceased at the scene. One of the victims has been widely identified as YouTubers Finnydalegend and his wife Bubbly. And while I could go ahead and recap the situation, the video's still floating out there on Twitter, and surprisingly enough, from me looking into it, it started popping up on my TikToks. So it is a pretty graphic video of, them just being on the, again, Las Vegas Strip. Finnydalegend gets open fired. His wife freaks out, only for Manny to then turn around and shoot her as well. And that's pretty much the scene. Again, I'm not gonna show it, but the footage of it is out there, and again, it is pretty graphic with everything that's happened. And even though he did turn himself in the next day, because of how the legal system works around here, I do have to reiterate, all of this is alleged until he has been tried in court and pretty much proven guilty, which there's proof out there aside from, him being, in clear view of when the shooting happened. There's also videos of him basically driving around trying to look for Finny and, just Finny in general. So that's what makes this whole situation very uncomfortable. Is he also involved the wife as well, which there was no reason to, but two people are now gone. And yeah, the situation gets more. I was going to report it as it happened, but one of the things I like to do is wait a few days to see how the story unfolds, because as it looks right now, Manuel Ortiz, Manny Y, Sin City, whatever his channel name doesn't really matter. YouTube took it down already. He's been booked and he's been charged for 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon. The victims have been officially identified as Rodney Finley, also known as Finnydalegend, and Tanisha Finley, also known as Bubbly. Manuel Ortiz also then appeared in court on Tuesday morning. The judge found probable cause for his arrest and denied him bail, but he does have another court hearing on Thursday, June 12th, so tomorrow, and there a judge will decide if he can post bail. And here's where things start to get stupid, at least for Manny, because when he went to court, he was basically claiming that he fired in self-defense, that apparently Finnydalegend was reaching for a weapon and made a threatening motion saying stuff like, "What's up, cuz?" He also claimed he shot Bubbly because he thought she had a shiny black object, which he thought was a gun, but it later ended up being identified as a phone gimbal. But overall, this whole situation playing out was ridiculously stupid. Over internet beef, basically. Two grown men, by the way, and this is what irks me, is Manny thought it was a good idea to shoot Finny, right? Or basically acting tough the way he did. The dude is 40 years old. So a 40-year-old man, 41, or, it doesn't really matter. Pretty much if he gets tried, it's the only ones that are going to be concerned about his age are the people and he's going to be sharing a prison cell with. But yeah, someone like that was going to show signs of just being a complete psychopath. Because like I said, I've been in internet beef before. If you look back in some of my videos, I've even called out whole groups out, mainly in Call of Duty and everything, and they've made videos back. Or the last time I was when I think Donald Trump got elected, and it was on Twitter. I remember making a comment saying something dumb or something, basically like kind of joking around about the whole situation, and I got attacked for it. Meanwhile, this one guy that I thought I was friends with, who I stopped talking to a while ago, chimes in and says, "Oh yeah, I've always known Duba for a while, and he's always been this kind of weirdo." And basically he comes out of nowhere just to basically flame talk me, just so he can get some bonus points for himself or whatever. Never, didn't matter what people said about me. And this is the funny thing too, is I'll go ahead and just do a little age review while we're in this topic. I'm currently 31 years old, and I've been through so much. I've been in arguments with people in real life and everything, and not once has my mind ever shifted to, yeah, I'm gonna track these people down and pull a gun on them or something. But here's the dumb part with Manny though, is the fact that he was trying to say he was gonna do this in self-defense, or that he shot in self-defense, right? Then why are there videos of him saying, "Oh, you got," of him driving around saying he's looking for them? No one. That's If it was self-defense, then why are you looking for them in the first place? And there are people saying that he was on, what's it called, that he wasn't. Well, I guess Finney resides in Arizona and Manny resides in Las Vegas or something. And what's it called? I guess he assumed he was just showing up to basically harass him or something. But even then, from they were live streaming and whatnot, so it just honestly looked like he was just on vacation, just doing a vlog and everything. Somehow Manny turned it into himself, or more than likely could have been stream sniping him to finally get his revenge or whatever. But nothing, like, the more I say it, it just sounds dumb. It would have just been like more sense if they were teens or young adults. But the fact that this is a grown man, and it's just like no matter how many times I keep repeating it, none of it makes sense of why he had to do the way he did it. It could have just been, "Hey, I'm gonna call the police if you even come close to me," or something like that. Or at the very least, at least for if he really wanted to do this for clout, they should have just like at least thrown hands, not used guns or whatever. But dude was just a big talk coward at the end of the day, and thought shooting someone out in public. And here's the thing: multiple shots were fired. So what he doesn't realize is, those shots could have ricocheted. They could have just he could have shot one bullet. As soon as Manny hits the ground, he could have fired again. That bullet missed. It could have hit anyone else that had nothing to do with the situation. And then the same thing happened. He opened fired on his wife. So again, another situation where the bullet could have ricocheted or just straight off and hit someone else. And then, it could have been, instead of two, which again, one shouldn't even happen, two or at all, but it could have added on because he was just so reckless firing the way he did. And, to claim self-defense, firing in an open area. If it was self-defense, then he could have called the cops. He could have screamed for help or something if it truly was self-defense. But because if it was in an alleyway or something, he had maybe a thing of, he could have had a point. But the thing is, this was an open area where there were a lot of people. If you look at that live stream, which again, only do at your own discretion, but if you look back on it, yeah, there was people constantly passing around. It was like a really crowded area. But yeah, again, very tragic story that took me a while to cover because I wanted to see how the story unfolds. We'll see if I do a follow-up video because, again, he has a court hearing tomorrow. So more than likely, I may just post a little update on the community thing, just a little screenshot of him because there is no way he is not going to get out of this unscathed. Either if by some miracle he does, he's going to be villainized for the rest of his life. And if not, and he goes straight to jail, that's 2 counts of murder on his thing. So there's a good chance either he'll get the death sentence, or he'll be pretty much spending the rest of his life basically being a little toy for the other cellmates that actually did a more horrible crime that wasn't just, "Hey, what are you in for?" "Oh, me and this guy were talking shit online and I had enough, so I tried to copyright claim him and it didn't work out the way I wanted. So I went to the Las Vegas Strip where he was and I opened fire on him and his wife." You already know those prisoners, as soon as they hear that, their pants are going to be dropped down. Anyways, that's all. That's it for the video. Hopefully, I'm not going to really do much of that, to be honest. Just that's all I got to really say about the video. And until next time, see you later, everyone.